resume checklist. Everyone's at least reevaluated their resume once or twice, maybe a couple dozen times. It seems a little frustrating. That's part of today's job market. Welcome. Lots of revision. Hope everyone liked English class. So, not groans, laughs. This is good stuff. So what is the resume checklist? It's a solid profile, summary, overview, executive summary, however you want to describe yourself. It's starting out with that. This is what I like to call the hook. You're hooking in the person reading your resume. It's going to keep them reading on. This is where you need to perfect your resume. This is the start. Next, you have your experience. This is important that it has to relate to the job that you're trying to get. So there's going to be some editing, depending on the job you're applying for. Next, your accomplishments, awards, and honors. Because let's face it, if we're all doing the same job, you have to distinguish yourself as a job seeker. The best way to distinguish yourself is to talk about your accomplishments. Quantify and qualify the size of the department that you were in, the workload that you had. Paint the picture clearly and concisely for the employer. Next is skills. Everybody sees the skills. They're usually bulleted of what you need to have for the job you're applying to. Make sure that is clearly defined on your resume. Most resumes are missing that, or it's overflowed with every buzzword in your industry, but it's not clearly stated throughout the resume. I will tell you, that's a red flag for employers. If you bulk up your skills section because you know you've worked with it and you're putting every single one you can think of, that can be a red flag if you're not addressing it in the experience part of your resume. So if you have it and you're stating it, make sure you're talking about where and how you were using that particular skill. Make sense? Great. Another small trick I'm going to tell you, start with the the particular skill you've used the most, and work backwards. So the most common skill you start with, comma to the least, and the very least one you've used, that will be your last one on your skills list. Okay? It's a good indicator to really set yourself apart. Alphabetical, no need. Finally, education. Clearly state whether you're degreed, non-degreed. If you're in a particular program, write in progress. Explain to the employer or potential employer what you're doing for your education. And finally, location. Let's face it, when you send your resume, your address is on there, right? If you know that you are willing to drive an hour and a half, and if they're going to be turned off, maybe you just want to put Philadelphia area. Maybe. That might work. So they're not going to think, oh, this person's too far, they're not going to drive. Or, oh no, they might not be able to sell their home. If it's an option, take the roadblock away. Generalize your region. Maybe it's Montgomery County or Philadelphia County. Just a small thing to think about. We're not misrepresenting ourselves. We're just giving the general region that you're from. 95 can be a bit of a hairpin, or 76. What is 5 miles is 45 minutes. You know, take those headaches away for yourself. So this is our checklist. This has to be on your resume already. These are the items we'll be tailoring as we're submitting our resume to our prospective jobs. I said it once and I'm going to show you again. Perfect your intro. This is the hook. Third person, and it's your elevator speech. You had 60 seconds to pitch yourself to a potential employer today. What would you say about yourself? Okay, that's a rhetorical question. Think about that. That's the beginning of your profile, and that's what you truly need to perfect. Third person, and it's about the facts. It's not that I'm hardworking, I'm a good team player. That's great. That's maybe what you want to focus on, the cover letter. This is the raw facts. You have over 20 years of experience, senior level management, training, etc. Okay, it's the meat and bones of your career and your experience. This is what's going to hook them in and keep them reading. For example, I have to get a little bit closer. We have a professional summary. Innovative sales leader with proven abilities in major account development, including, but not limited to, sales strategy, sales training, administration of accounts. It goes on. This highlights everything about the person's experience and relates directly to the job. I'm a hiring person. I'm going to keep reading. Remember, we're trying to get the interview. So this is an example. Work on it yourself. Ask some of our experts for a critique and see if it's saying what it should. So that's step number 1. Then we have the other key points, and I'm going to reiterate this for everyone. When you list your skills and areas of expertise, if you're going to put it, and it's going to be one of those 1 to 5 that you're listing, make sure you're putting it in the body of your resume. So if you're talking about skills such as CRM, SAP, IT, in your skills section, make sure it's in the body of your experience down here. Okay, that's an important connection. When you are putting together your resume due to time constraints, strongly recommend bullets. Not first person, I had the responsibility of. Instead, bullet with the action verb. So your first bullet may be developed, maybe managed. You're getting right to the point because let's face it, we're all short on time. Okay? And quantify and qualify, that's a given. If you're not sure how to do it, ask a former coworker or current coworker. How would you say I should quantify and qualify my job? Because that's the best person you can relate to, is someone you've already worked with.